Ohayo! Ohayo gozaimasu. Ah, we don't have a webcam. Oh, disaster. Oh no. Chotto matte. Disaster. Absolute disaster. We'll go to this screen. Oh my god. Where's the face cam? There we go. Wow. You do as many tests as you like, but there'll always be something. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Bunch of first-time chatters. Welcome. Spiegel, Mono, Maxim. Craft Guy's here. Hello. Bunch of first-time chatters. Welcome, welcome. Ohayo gozaimasu. But I guess it's not morning for you guys. It's in the evening. For me, it's 9:30 a.m. This will be the standard time from today onwards. This is what we'll be doing. Yeah, the autocorrect will get you. Good morning all. Good morning, Dan Squatch. How are we doing? Okay. So first things first. This is nominally the first stream. I have done 2 test streams before, and things like the camera shouldn't have happened on this one. But I think we'll be okay. Quill is Pam. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna share some of your stuff later. Thank you for coming. So yeah, this is the first stream. I'm gonna be doing this every week at this time, and then there'll also be one more focused towards the Europeans. That'll be 9:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. Welcome everyone here. Valmakir, hello, welcome, welcome. A lot of these names I'm recognizing from Dave's chat, which is cool. Thank you for showing up. So what are we doing today? Last time I did a test, I rambled on and on and on. And I mentioned that the work we were doing last time wasn't really something I wanted to do on stream. I didn't have work at that time. I was trying to keep it a little bit secret, but it looks like the work we were doing is going to be our main work on Tuesdays. But right now, I have the designs for the next Atelier Cento print, which is what I'll usually be doing on these streams. This time on the Friday morning will be mostly mokankan work. Yeah. But my schedule, my working times is a little bit flexible, so I think it's okay to do some of my own work here just for you this time, because I don't have actual blocks from mokankan to carve. So Tuesday will be my own projects. or projects from Asuka Sensei, but the NDAs on them are a little bit iffy. Usually, I'm not allowed to talk about them. The companies that they work with are quite strict about how they promote stuff. So Friday mornings will be Mokankan stuff, but as a special stream for the first one, we will be working again on my bonsai print. And last time, Citrong helped me out a lot with this, and he was posting links, but the Nightbot had an automatic thing that it wouldn't let anyone post links. I've set up some commands, and one of them is for the information on this, which if we get some new people come in, which we probably will, we'll be able to pop that in. If you look on my homepage, there's a list of commands. Unfortunately, Citrong, I don't actually have the list of commands as a command yet. I will set that up. I keep meaning to do it, but forgetting. I had a bunch of other reference materials and stuff I needed to set up today, and I completely forgot about that. That was on my list. But it's noted. Thank you very much. The lab, welcome. Lost for words. Hello, hello, hello. Nightbot. Ah, there we go. Someone's already got it. Real Chicken Meister, thank you. Welcome. John Beck is here. Hi. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm going to get lost in the chat. Let's just switch to the other cam and get started. And I'll give a really, really brief explanation of what we're doing. Am I working with Bjorn? Yes, I am. About a year ago, I reached out to him. I've always liked bonsai, and a little bit of backstory to why I got into I'm doing this project was Bjorn on his website on his YouTube channel before I moved to Japan. He had a video that kind of affected me a lot, and you'll understand why when I explain. But he had one about talking about his apprenticeship. I always loved bonsais, and I always grew bonsai in the UK. I had many bonsais, that little small ones that I'd grown from seedlings and just nursery crops. I never had any big nice ones. But he has a video on his thing talking about apprenticeships in Japan. And if you know who I am, if you're not completely new here first time, that'll sort of make sense to you. How that links into me. It was a big motivator for me, seeing that the traditional apprenticeship can work if you come in as a foreigner. And I thought about it for a while, and then I made the plunge, and I came over here to get an apprenticeship. So he was a big influence on that. So I wanted to do some bonsai prints. You know his family? Wow, yeah, because he had his, for, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years in Tennessee, he had his place. This is the image, the overall image. I'll pop one on screen in a second. This is not a finished image. This is just reference for me. Lots of the colors, especially stuff like down here, because I'm not using any multiply layers or anything fancy on the computer, they really don't give you enough information. And if you do all the multiply layers and stuff, you can really get lost in thinking this is how the print is going to look. So these colors are just really rough for me to sort of understand and work the color separation out. But this is not exactly how the finished print will look. Is the background going to be mica? I did think about that. If I did do mica, I would have to do the mica myself. And with all these small branches and stuff, I think it'd probably be, I'd lose about 50% of all the prints that got printed. And there's going to be a lot of impressions on this one. So to lose 50% of the stock would be a very expensive mistake to do. So I don't think I'll be doing mica on this. There will be probably atenashi bokashi, like borderless gradation, and there will be maybe barin tsuji, the score marks from the barin. I like them, but I don't like when they're urusai, too noisy, too much. A little bit of goma and a little bit of barin tsuji would be nice. These are going to be nominally like modern shinhanga, and since I've been doing a lot of Shinhanga reproductions recently, I'm getting better at understanding how to do these, and I'm really excited to have a go. I am publisher, carver, not printer, but perhaps if I can't get any printers in, I'll also be the printer. I'm hoping I can get a professional printer in though. Serving my apprenticeship was a borderline holy experience, making it safe for the next generations and that. Oh, Dan Scott, you did an apprenticeship. What was your apprenticeship in? So yeah, I started this project about a year ago, and I haven't had time. I've just been absolutely swamped with projects. This is a really strange time for me. I've had like a week and a half where I haven't actually have blocks on my desk. So I've been working on odd little projects here and there. Good morning, Riku. Good morning, Yun. I am going to be really awful at reading these names, by the way. So if I get your name wrong, it's a bit of fun for the stream, I guess. I saw a question here a second ago. I already answered it. Okay, cool. So we're still on the key block. I've done a little bit of work. The tree is mostly, the trunk of the tree is mostly carved, but I still have all the branches and the scroll. We can talk about that stuff as I go along. I've already rambled on way too much. Let's get into some carving, and I can talk about things as they come up. Starting strong. Thank you so much. At least you get your stuff done. I get other people's stuff done. My own stuff usually takes a bit of a backseat. I'm really good at getting other people's stuff done and getting all the ideas and prep stage done. Getting the actual prints done is another story. Where were we? I haven't touched this since the last test stream. We're going to be kicking off exactly where we were on some of these branches down here. This is all my own brushwork. I'm no master, but I have done a bit of calligraphy training and stuff. So they're nominally tasteful. They're better than had they been done on a digital software. You're enjoying the Nico print. Thank you. I enjoy that too. Do you have the first edition or the second? I like them both. Okay, let's get starting. I'm going to started. I'll get a little bit quiet here for a second, and then I can answer some questions. Please feel free to lurk. Please feel free to chat. Any questions, go ahead. Let's start with an easy place. Am I on? I'm not on camera. No. Let me know also if the volumes are okay. I'm not screaming in your ear. They look okay on my screen, but you never know. Start off with a bit of oil. I need to make a command for this actually. I don't have a command for the Tsubakiabra. Camellia oil. Let's go. My hands are a little bit shaky. I haven't eaten this morning. I don't know whether that's because of the lack of energy or because I'm streaming and not used to it yet. I guess a bit of both. So if you hit Command Archive, you should get all the links to ACN and Bjorn's YouTube and website. The tree I chose here is his yamadori, which means collected from the mountains, like not grown from seed in a pot, but a wild specimen that's then been turned into a bonsai, which is why the trunk is so gnarled. I can stick the reference up here, maybe that's easier for people to understand what we're working on. And it's we had a question in the last test stream actually about the scroll. You can see that there's an American goat in the back, and someone had asked, I can't remember who asked, but someone had said, why is there an American goat? I like it, but why is it American? We don't have these in Japan, and it's a little bit anachronistic. Oh, that was you, Langstrad. Okay. The reason it's an American goat is because this is not a Japanese tree. It's an American tree. It was harvested in, I think, Tennessee, but I could be wrong there. It's a Rocky Mountain juniper. So to pay homage to the tree, I wanted to make a scroll that reflected a little bit where it's from. That's why we have the goat there, the mountain goat. So I sort of did a Google for what animals were in the Rocky Mountains, and I went through and I saw the goat, and I just thought that's going to be so cool if I did it in sort of negative space, put it on the background, put it on a big cliff. It's not very good to be sort of a little bit nervous. I usually settle in. I was a little bit nervous on my first two tests, but then I sort of settled into it. It's not really great for detailed carving to have a slightly shaky hand. Not really shaky, I'm not that bad, but it could also be the 3 cups of coffee. No Rocky Mountains in Tennessee, no. No, that's where his studio was. It probably wasn't harvested. I don't know America very well, to be honest. I shouldn't try and explain anything about take pot shots at geography in America, where most of the chatters are American. We Americans don't often know America very well. No comment. I'm not going to start with my British blind anti-American hate. I have a friend I used to work with who spent half his life in, was it Canada? And then half of his life in the UK. I think like 13 years he was in the UK. But because he spent the first little portion of his life in Canada, he had sort of a Canadian accent. And the British are not the most welcoming, like, especially in like poorer areas. The British are not the most welcoming. They can be a little bit sharp with their words. I think he said he hated it. He hated every minute of it because he just got called an American all the time. I think he got over it. He likes it now. I like you guys. You guys are fine. And the British really like you as well. It's just, it's kind of dry sense of humour there sometimes. It doesn't often translate well. if someone's ribbing you, it probably means they feel pretty comfortable with you. If someone's too nice, then probably means you're not very close. But I don't think that's a specifically British thing. Have I lost half the chat there? Are we on camera? You can't see very well, can you? Can we see there? Maybe I'll move the camera across. Excuse me, earthquakes, earthquakes. It's probably the wrong time to be testing with slightly different setups. I had something that worked. I had a little bit too much bleed in from the light. The bulb was making everything blow out. It seems fine now though. So I moved it back, but it actually means I'm blocking most of the carving. Let's put that there. And I can zoom in a little bit more because these are kind of delicate. Boop, boop, boop. Do you have a drop desk like Dave, or do you sit on the floor? I used to sit on the floor, and now I've built myself like a platform. This is a drop desk, similar to Dave's thing, but it goes across the whole studio. I got my computer desk like set up into it. I got a hole for my computer desk as well. Maybe we can do a workshop tour at some point. Is there a plan for using gofun? So gofun's the white pigment that they use a lot in Kyoto. It's more of a Kyoto style printing. It's not sort of that Nihonga style, and Nihonga is the prints in imitation. Well, it's the style of painting, but it's also the name for the prints in imitation of like silk scrolls and stuff like that. I think technically I really like them, but it's not really my cup of tea. I prefer the Tokyo style of printing. Just the whites is the whites of the paper. It's just a preference. The thing also is that those type of images are not super fun to carve. The Tokyo tradition often, not always, but often has a little more interesting carving. When you're doing reproductions of silk paintings, it's just, when you break them down, it just becomes a lot of shapes, and they all have to be registered in a particular way, and there's often no outlines. And the most fun thing for me is what I'm doing here, is the outlines and stuff. So it can get a bit monotonous, that work. I mean, it's fine. I do what work is on my desk. And I think I've got something a little bit, not quite Nihonga, but something that's quite picky and small little dots and colours like that, little patches, that if you looked at a single block, you couldn't really tell what the image was. But when they all come together, it makes a sort of painterly style image. I'll be doing one of those soon, I guess. I shouldn't talk any more about that. That's also NDA. Sorry, I'm missing loads of questions. It seems my chat has frozen on my iPad. No, it froze on my phone. It's okay. Everyone just went quiet. Okay. So what's new? Oh, I got a funny story from this morning. So my partner, Ayano, she works at Mokankan. And she has to leave kind of early. We live about an hour away from Mokankan on the trains. So she leaves a little early so she can get back at like 4:30 to pick him up from the daycare, crash, whatever you call it. So I got the morning shift, like we have breakfast together and get him dressed and ready, prepare all this stuff for school. And on the way to school today, just before we got there, I have like a half sling. It's not a full body sling, it's like a half sling. And he's pressed up against my body like this. And I guess his nappy was smushed up against my body. And just before we got into school, he did a big pee. And the nappy didn't work because it was all compressed. And my shirt was soaked all down my front. So this is a fresh shirt. Parenting's fun. He seemed oblivious, he didn't really mind. Is anyone here actually new and don't know who I am? It might be an idea to give a little brief background of who I am. I'm guessing most of you are from Dave's streams. I can see a bunch of familiar names. I can't see how many people are watching or the list of names. So I don't know how many of you are new. Oh, thank you for showing up. There'll be VODs, so catch up later maybe. But thanks for showing up. I doubt the mic is picking up the little sounds from the knife now. I think new people would be unlikely in chat. Yeah, that was my assumption. That's why I didn't do a big spiel about I'm da-da-da at the beginning. Most people are viewers and are lurkers. Yeah, well, I'm one of those people. I'm not a big chatter either. Especially in Dave's stream, I feel like whenever I speak, I sort of derail the conversation and fill the chat up with hi at blah blah blah, hi at blah blah blah. It's not because I'm antisocial, it's just I don't want to monopolize the chat or derail the topic, so I kind of stay quiet. And also it's kind of difficult to chat in the morning, like I was saying, getting ready for school and that. Speaking of VODs just then, I did set up an archive channel on YouTube for these VODs. So this will be the first video being uploaded there. Sort of like what Straight Edge is doing for Dave's streams. And maybe there'll be some other content there as well. Maybe I'll do shorts, or maybe I'll put them on the main channel, I'm not sure. If I type in... Does that work? There you go. There's a link to my second YouTube channel. If you're interested, all the videos, VODs will be linked there. There'll be a bit of a delay. I can't upload them straight away. But by the end of the day, for my time, they should be there. I guess it's what, 2 weeks that they're saved on the Twitch? Was it 2 weeks or is it just a week? But they're saved on Twitch for a little bit. If you have Amazon Prime link, they save for 60 days. Oh, okay. Do I have Amazon Prime? I'm using some... My partner has Amazon Prime. And I get the Prime stuff. I don't know if that means that I can also... Might be strange to link her Prime to my stream. Sensei Martian, hello. Oh, that was you who gave the Amazon Prime. Sorry. Welcome, welcome. I'm sure most of the people who are here already know who Sensei Martian is. But if you don't, he is an IRL streamer. You should check out his stuff. He recently... was it the Kiso Kaido you walked with Lyle? Lyle Forever, the therapy gecko. He did a little bit of a walk last time he was in Tokyo. And I actually went to one of his live shows there. And saw Sensei Martian there. I don't have a command for shout-outs yet, so feel free to post your own link, or someone else can be kind enough to share it. It's actually just 7 days before... Oh, okay. Yeah, about 75 to 80 kilometers of the Kiso Kaido. That's a decent amount of distance in, what was it, 2 or 3 days? Fair play. Emails. I haven't done the Kiso Kaido, but I've walked a good portion of the Nakasendo. That was like my first trip to Japan, was it? Yeah. 4 days walking. Okay. Still good going. Especially for Lyle's, since I don't know how much walking he does. Certainly not as much as you. Guess my hand's blocking the camera a lot, isn't it? So I set up the second YouTube to archive stuff. And in the last test stream, I talked about some segments I was thinking about doing. One of them would be sort of a tech support or print critique, like sort of helping. I don't want the whole streams to be hyper technical. I just want them to kind of be like this, a little bit talking about things that are going on and little bits of like carving related technical stuff thrown in, but not like heavy, this is the way you cut this line, this is the order and stuff like that. But I'm thinking about the hour mark, probably not today, but in the future at the hour mark, maybe take questions and try and answer like as technically as I can, like a 5-10 minute segment. And for that, I was talking about setting up a Discord so I can take submissions for that and, all the other stuff Discord does. But it's actually quite a lot setting up a Discord if you want to do it properly. And if I want to do it, then I want to do it properly. And it's not fully fleshed out, all the different things I want to do, because I would like a couple of other segments, so it's not just like a long slog of looking at small details like this. I don't know if you guys would think that's a slog or not. This is my work, but I enjoy it. So when I've got all the ideas fleshed out and straightened in my head, I might make a Discord for that. But that's not ready yet. Not quite yet. So for today, if you do have any questions, or in general on most of these streams, if you have any technical questions and it's possible to answer them without supplementary material and that, I can do that for you. I'm not sure how many of you are actually making your own prints. There's probably a few. Is my block smooth enough? I don't know. I'd have to see the block. This is why we need a Discord. You need to send me the pictures and stuff. Maybe a Discord is a good idea. The first question, is my block smooth enough? If you have to ask that question, I'm guessing probably not. If there's any doubt about whether this is smooth enough or not, I'd say make it smoother. Unless you intend on just printing very rough goma. If you have a block, actually, that's a little bit rough, maybe I can show you. I have it over here. I have my own little card scraper here. Maybe I can show it. It doesn't look like much, but there's a burr on this side here you can feel. This is quite a thick one. There's a couple different types that you can use for this. There's the thinner bendy ones, and you sort of pull them. I don't have one of those, but I do want one. And then these ones are really good for flat. They can take off any of the roughness if you have a little bit of rough patch. Ideally, it'd all be prepared before, but this is a good little finishing tool. There's been a couple blocks that I got, and there was just like a little patch that meant that I couldn't really put the biggest, widest open part there. So you can just touch it up with that. It's not a typical print carver's tool. I know you were kind of joking, but it was actually a good question. 3 hours of scraping. Wow. So they must be smooth enough then. You don't need to ask the question. If you're scraping them for 3 hours. Someone else says, Rune, I'm currently marunoming. Nice. What are you working on? Is it Shina? Is it Sakura? Something else? This is where I need the reference. American Cherry. Who, me? No, I was asking Run Hua. Run Hua. Is that correct? Run Hua. Nailed it. It's probably a really obvious pronunciation for that I'm just not saying. This sort of work, I have a little bit more freedom with the lines than like my typical reproductions. I don't have to worry about offending the designer if I want to make any changes along the way. If I think this line should be a little bit thicker or this one should be thinned out a little bit. Most of the adjustments I made already digitally, so I'm pretty happy with most of the line work. But if I do go off the line, heaven forbid I make a mistake, if I go off the line a little bit, I can just extend it or stretch it out a different way. Because these are my lines. And I gave myself permission. It's going to be interesting to see the dynamic, maybe not dynamic is the right word, the people who show up to each stream, because it's obviously going to be different crowds. Maybe no one will show up to the European one, let's see. But I'm guessing 9:30 p.m. for most of the chatters here is not going to really be a workable time. Curious if anyone was able to find a supply for European cherry that one person showed on stream. European cherry? I haven't heard anything about that. You're carving on Sakura. Is it one of Asuka Sensei's kanji training blocks? Oh, it's one of Asuka Sensei's I know who you are, I think. I know who you are. Do I know who you are? I think I know who you are. It's kind of difficult to confirm without doxing. So Vivek KP, you carve mostly on American Cherry. I didn't know that. Are you using Sakura for... No, are you using Shina for most of your colour blocks, or are you doing them all on Cherry? I was looking at some of your prints yesterday, actually. I was in Mokankan, and I saw a bunch of yours in the guest corner. I went over to just make a couple of touch-ups on the Patreon blocks that I carved on the first test stream. They're being printed at the moment by Mr. K. So if you're one of Dave's Patreon subscribers, the next 2 prints you get in the Chibi series will be my blocks. Yeah, I thought, okay. So it's okay to say your name. Yeah, I'm following your Instagram as well. I know who you are. Mad annoying. So you're doing a reproduction of... It's a Hokusai, right? It's a Hokusai landscape. Sometimes I use Shinhanga for my colour, but not when areas are small. This print will all be cherry blocks. Nice. I'm excited to see a new print. Can we know what the theme is? A landscape. Some more fireflies. Where were we? Let's go down here. Landscape. I was spot on. They make for nice prints. Is it another landscape from your backyard, or one that from your imagination or from your travels? For anyone who doesn't know, Vivid KP here is a printmaker. She carves and prints all herself. Very nice prints. You could throw in a link to your website if you'd like. I don't have it at hand. I don't have much in the way of like stream management here. I got to get some mods pretty soon because my computer's really far away and I don't have a keyboard here. I'm using my iPad to screen share my OBS, and I'm using my phone for the chat. So like searching on Google and sending stuff over is a little bit tricky. I will have to get a wireless keyboard, I guess, and a boom stand that I can move the screen closer. You're doing the Atara River. Oh, from the Kiso Valley. Oh, nice, nice, nice. So the Kiso Valley is the section that I did the Nakasendo. I'm guessing that's one of the most popular segments of the Nakasendo. Did you walk between a couple of the post towns there, by any chance? They've got a couple of... I don't know if they're fully preserved or if they're sort of half renovated. They've got a post town, or a few I think, along the Nakasento that they've got them looking like they used to in the old days when people used to take trips down the Nakasendo. So the Tokaido goes down the bottom, the Nakasendo went up the top. They both head towards Kyoto. Saying Asuka Sensei didn't like your key blocks, so I never started with the color blocks. I have so many key blocks that never made it into print. It's normal. Don't be offended. If anyone here is really serious into practicing carving, some of the best practice work, other than like kanji, which is fantastic, not only are you learning how to carve brushstrokes and really detailed areas, but it's also it's just really good practice. But the other thing you can do is simply just do reproductions. Once you've reached a basic competency level, with how to hold the knife and carve if you're practicing that technique. Then one of the good practices is just carving key blocks. Don't worry about the colour blocks, it just takes time away from your studies. Carve the key blocks, don't touch them up at all. Just carve them once so you can see exactly your progression and areas that you need to nail better. If you're touching up all your blocks, you can make them look like you're actually much more of a competent carver than you are. The goal is to just hit everything once and be done. If you have to come in and shave and touch up every line, you're inevitably going to kill any taste, and sort of your lines will become, well, the word we use is dead. We want living lines when we're carving. And the best way to get living lines is just a nice smooth flow like that. One cut, done. Not coming in and shaving. You can touch anything up to make it thin, but the amount of extra time it will take you, and you'll inevitably lose something if you're doing that to all your lines. So the best way to do it is just one and done. We'll see how this looks after I have cleared and printed it. With how complicated the actual full image is, it's not got that many lines. They're all kind of thin, but it's not a very difficult key block, aside from the size of it. Most of them are shorter little dashed lines. There's some longer ones on the scroll over here. I think I'll start with a smaller wood size and carve kanji as I'm making hanko. Yeah, typically the tools for making hanko, I have a little block here. Where is it? Where's my symbol? Ah, there it is. Typically this is the traditional, it's a piece of boxwood. I use this as my symbol for my table. This is for stopping my block moving around. But this is the wood they use for hanko, traditionally. There's a bunch of different, it's also stone and bone and stuff like that as well. But this is the simplest way, and it's carved on the end grain. So the tools and techniques for actually carving this, you can do it with this knife, but this is not the typical tools used. It's more of a Western style wood cutting tools that they used for making the hanko. But if you just want to put your hanko down and carve it 100 times, I think that's good practice. Taryn, do you know about the Awagami mini print exhibition? You might want to enter. I don't think I can get it done by July 31st, no way. And I don't know, maybe in the future. I don't really have a plan to enter any competitions with it. I'm not sure it would be okay either. I don't know how many professional carvers or printers are entering any work to that. Might be a bit of a, like, technically speaking, a bit of an unfair advantage, given that it's my main job and like, this is what I do. Will you be entering any prints into that exhibit? Wow, I can't say that word today. Seems like more of an art competition than a technical skill thing. Okay. But there is also an element of technical skill. Chicken Meister, will you be entering your new Gurren Lagann print. We got a bunch of printmakers in chat today. Yep, the river print landscape you were just talking about. Cool. So is that already finished? Is that on your website already? No, it's the wrong size. What's the size limit for the mini print? Exhibition. Nailed it. This is risky, you know. I can't remember. I'm getting distracted by chat and then I don't remember where I've just cut. Did I get this? Hoo. We're okay. We're okay. All prints must be A4. I don't have any A4 prints. Oh no, I guess Nico would count as that, but it's not my art, so it probably reproductions probably wouldn't be entered, would they? A4 is an odd size for a Japanese print competition. I guess it's easier for Western people. I guess are most of the participants foreign? Or is there a lot of internal submissions? Submitted works must be printed on a specific type of washi. Well, yeah, it's a it's an exhibition sponsored by Awagami, so I guess they want you to use their paper. It's a good way for them to sell more of their paper. Mostly Japanese submitters. Interesting. Is there a physical exhibition for that as well? I guess in their workshop. Any washi is fine. They missed a trick there. They really could have. They really could have boosted their sales if they demanded that everyone prints on Awagami. Physical exhibition. I think they missed a trick there. What other print exhibit? There's Adachi also has one, right? They have one every year. Well, they did. I'm sure they're still doing it. Citrong's asking, can it be printed? I believe, yeah. No, printed area can be any size. Just the paper has to be A4. I guess you can just take a smaller, like, postcard size print and stick it on a piece of washi. Bang in the center. As long as it's not bigger. Unless you want to crop your image quite heavily. There's workarounds. They send out free washi samples. So they're not demanding that you print on their paper, but they're like, oh, try some of our paper. I think they should be aggressive with that. It would also mean that anyone who has made a print would have to like re-edition it on their paper so they can make it. Means that like unless people are already printing on Awagami anyway, that all the prints are at least printed recently. Although I'm not sure that's a concern at all. What time are we on? It's been an hour. It's been an hour. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. They have 3 packs of samples. I don't really like any of them, but they have a Nanga Pro, which is 100% Corso. Hoping to get that in the sample pack. Okay. So you have submitted already. You haven't sent it in, but when is that? This summer? Question mark. Where do you source your paper? I don't really. I get most of... I get my paper either from Mokuhankan or from Asuka Sensei. For this project, I will probably need to buy my own, and I'll get that from Iwano. The Iwano family in Echizen. But it's not really a thing for me. I'm a carver. I don't do much printing at all. So I don't really have a need for paper. The paper I do have a need for is for the transfers and creating the hanshtas. I use a combination of Gampi, which I'll get from Asuka Sensei or Ozuwashi or Mokankan. And Ozuwashi is a little bit more expensive. But if I want to get some bulk, maybe I'll do that. And the other one I use is called Gampi Awase or Awazeshi Gampi. I have some here. It's a Gampi sheet on the front, really, really thin, but it's in the rocker. It was created with a bunch of pulp on the back. So first they rock it in the Gampi and then they rock it in pulp. And so it's like thin Gampi paper pre-applied to paper, and it's really, really good. I love this stuff. This is from Woodlike Matsumura. They sell this. I think it's called Gampi Awase or Awazeshi Gampi. One of those. And it's great. It's really, really good. It's really stable with the moisture, which is why I like it. And also you get really clean lines. As long as you are careful with the way you paste it down, you get a really clean peel off. You can see here where I've actually got it off. Obviously this is left on purpose to protect it from my arms and stuff. But yeah, Gampi Awase. So yeah, it means that you can place the paper into the registration marks. The Gampi, you can't really do that because it's too thin. Which is why, maybe you can talk about this. So in the olden days, I got a bunch of comments on this from the Nico print. That why had I got a bunch, I got maybe 2. Why hadn't I done the registration marks in the same way that the Watanabe studio would have done it? And the reason is because the key marks used to be printed on because they were just using unbacked Gampi. So you place the Gampi on and you take an impression, then you put it on your key block, on your color block. But because the Gampi is so thin, you can't put it in registration. So you print the registration and then you paste the registration and the image onto the block and then you cut there. Because we're doing backing, we can cut the registration before, which means we can be even more accurate with our registration marks. I think it works better. I'd never go back to doing it the other way. I have done it the other way. And if you get your knife a little bit not perpendicular or to the side like that, it means that you will have registration issues. So you have to, when you're carving that, be exactly perpendicular on both your key block and your color block. By doing it this way, if you have a slight slant into it and it makes the paper rest a little bit forward or a little bit back from the actual scored line on the surface of the wood, it's corrected because where the paper lies is where the paper is pasted. So the future prints, you'll have no issues either. So for me, this is the way forward. The traditional way is to print the registration marks and then cut them after pasting. Maybe that's a bit too technical for most of you, but I think it's interesting. And that's why I do it this way. I got some, when I was in Tokyo, got a paper in wood like Matsumura. We got some Kintaro and some from Udatsu. Needs to be sized. Do you do your own size? I guess you are. You're doing most of this stuff yourself. Where were we? Changing topic a little bit, actually. Pam is here. And she's been working on something quite interesting. Maybe I can show you a picture. Let me get this. Ooh, where's my mouse? Ooh, my computer's heating up a bit. So a little while ago, when I was still working, before I quit my day job, I was working in a school. And some of the people I used to work with used to enjoy D&D, and I'd been listening to, but I'd never really played. And I got invited to a game, and I drew some characters in my downtime. Wasn't doing much drawing then, but I drew some characters, and I drew this poster for a game that I'd been invited to. It was good fun. I don't know how it came to be a bird D&D, but I think maybe I drew a picture first, a little doodle, and then then I kind of pushed for it to be bird themed D&D, and I drew this poster. I drew one bird for each of the characters of people's favourite birds. And then I posted this on my stories not too long ago on my Instagram. And Pam, PB, I've got her link here, wait. Copy link, I can send this in. So Pam does embroidery and thread work, and she saw this picture. You can see actually that a bunch of these birds I really enjoyed doing, and then the other ones I ran out of time. The idea from this came from a picture that I'd seen of someone else's drawing, and one of these birds is a little bit of a rip. I sort of took some elements from a different artist, and then the rest of them were all original. But Pam wanted to do an embroidery of one of these birds, and she chose the wren, the one with the antlers there in the front, and she wanted to do an embroidery of that. I was a little bit skeptical about doing that because that one is the one that the rest are all like 100% original, but that one has a bunch of elements because I was running out of time and I didn't really have time to finish all of them. 2 of them I finished, and then the rest are sort of half done, but she liked that one the best. This is a link to Pam's Instagram, and so I sort of suggested why not do the robin instead, but she wanted to do the wren as well. And so I sent her some Gampi with these printed out, and she's been embroidering it. She's really, really good. She did it a couple of years ago for the Embrace the Delights series that Mokohankan published with Jed. And she drew a couple of little cat characters that Jed-san was drawing for that series. And they came out really good. So Pam's been stitching these up. I don't know, embroidery, is that what it's called? She says she's doing some quilting on it now. I'm not 100% of all the technical stuff. Anyway, that's a little side note. You should check out her Instagram. She's really, really good. They're turning out really cool. So I'm very grateful for her doing that. And those are my little D&D birds. Embroidery and hand quilting. Yeah, they look great. So if you do see another image of a bird online and think that I'm plagiarising their work, number one, it's a different bird. Number two, it's a different pose. I just took the clothes. And I'm aware. Don't at me. So go and give Pam a follow. Have a look back on some of the other Instagram posts. You'll find the one she did of the little cats from the Embrace the Delight series. They're really cute. I'm doing stickers for my Patreon members. So I wanted something for the lower tiers, for the people supporting at £2 a month. And it's not really possible to send a print to anyone at that level. So I didn't have anything on there, and I just started doing stickers this year. And I've just got my new batch of stickers come in, and it's all about knife angles, and I'm really chuffed with it. I'm not going to show it yet. I want to keep it a surprise for the Patreons, but you can place your knife on top of the sticker and check the angles for the general carving knives. This is my one. This is sort of like the middle angled knife I use. You realise, Taryn, that one of them is a fox? It's been a long time since I've seen them. One of them is a fox, yeah, you're right. A fox is just a wild cat, right? No. It's much more closely related to a dog, I'm guessing. Can you tell that I did biology? Canine hardware, feline software. Very good. That's good. I'm going to need a chocolate egg equivalent, because that needs... I need to throw something at you for that one. That's good. Stolen from somewhere. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought that was an original thought. It's still good. You get half points for that then. Hmm. What other news is there? I had a couple of other things I was supposed to talk to you about, but I think I forgot. They'll come to me. We have only got 15 minutes left though. So maybe they won't come to me. We'll find out. We can't do eggs, John. I've got to think of something original. Ginkgo nuts. Ginnan. I don't know. There's a bunch of ideas I have for, like, making this stream fun and engaging, even if you're not much of a chatter. Little extra things that you can put onto your Twitch streams that lots of other people do. And if you watch, you get points and stuff. But I'm in no rush to get them all done straight away. I just want to make the bread and butter of this channel, you know, the reason we're here, solid before I start delving in and adding too much too quickly. It'll build, it'll grow. We're in it now. I'm locked in. When I say I'll do something, it'll get done. So we're streaming regularly now. And to prove that, it's actually Golden Week. This is the last day of work before Golden Week. Golden Week is usually one of the longest holidays in Japan. This year, it's a really short one. I think, including the weekend, it's 4 days. Compared to last year, we had about 10, which was fantastic. Just went right the way through. But the way the days have landed this year, it's not a very long holiday. But during the next stream on Tuesday, it'll be Golden Week. I've got some plans to go out. I think tomorrow we are going to have a barbecue. Ayano, my partner, her sister, every year at their house, they have a barbecuing at Golden Week at their house. So I'll be going over there tomorrow, having a nice little barbecue. Often I miss the barbecue because I usually have so much work on my desk. It's self-inflicted, partly. But I don't always get to go. I miss a lot of events. I'm taking more time off now. This week has been much better. I've been able to get some work done that has been piling up, and I'm working on a couple of new videos. I just posted a new video to my Patreon of was it March print? The one with the train in the flooded city. I posted a little video for that. I don't plan on making a full YouTube video for that. I did no audio. Just a quick editing of some of the footage I took. Well, I thought it'd be quick. It wasn't that quick, actually. I'm not very efficient at editing. Now, I'm a little bit out of practice actually. I haven't edited in a while. It's been a good stretch without me actually making the video. I planned on the Kamakura Daibutsu print to be the next print that I'd post. And we did the test printing in December, and then all of the printers left and things got difficult at Mokohankan, so it didn't get printed. It's being printed now. And so I'm getting back on the video making. But not focusing on videos has let me... I revamped my website, I fixed my Patreon, and a bunch of other stuff. I've started Twitch streaming because I haven't been focusing on the videos. But now everything's sort of set up, we can get back into that. I love the Flooded City print, finally got it. Ooh, it took a month and 3 days to arrive. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Well, yeah, I guess the posting to America has been a little bit off. Iron Octo, welcome, first time chatter. I know you. That's a familiar name. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, I'm excited for the barbecue. It'd be nice to get out. Yeah, so I made a little video for my Patreon. And I'm going to cut it up into segments. So you guys will see it, but you'll see it in segments. I'll do it as reels and shorts. No, I recognized you. I got you. I might not recognize everyone. At the moment, I'm just assuming everyone here is from Dave's chat. It's kind of a niche community, the people who are interested in carving. A-tier memory. No, it's definitely not. My memory is really good at some things. I've complete anomia though. I don't remember names at all. And I know what people say about people who don't remember names. That it's not a real thing, it's just you don't pay attention and you don't care enough to remember people's names. But I really struggle with names. Which is why learning Japanese has been so hard for me, because I guess it's the same muscle you're scratching there. I learn in a more organic way. I remember places really, really well. Like, I have a mind map of everywhere I've ever been. Like, I can tell you step by step how to get somewhere that I've only been once. So I never need maps or anything. I just cycle around on my bike. I remember, sort of plot the area in my mind when I move into a new house. And then I know my way around. They say it takes about 20 times engaging with it properly to learn a new foreign language word, but it's not true. This is a good excuse for names, I feel. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be using that. I'll steal that. Yeah, I've never read your name out loud. This is the first time, so I got 20 more chances to read your name out loud before I'm obliged to remember you, before I'm just an arsehole. We met a guy like that, called him Human GPS. Yeah, it's handy to have a human GPS in your group when you're travelling anywhere. It's handy when you go hiking as well. And the other one for me, a really good memory, when I was younger, I could listen to a song once and remember all the lyrics. But again, like, you'll tell me your name and 5 seconds later it'll be gone. guess it's just something to do with sounds. I guess sounds I remember better. That doesn't explain the maps thing. I guess they're unrelated. I'm kind of struggling a little bit looking at chat, and then I come back and I'm like, have I carved that line? I have no idea. What we got? 5 more minutes. If you have any questions, technical questions, send them in now. But I guess most of you are fine. Now you know how Dave feels. Yeah. And I'm not rotating the block, so it should be easier for me. Just like look down straight away. Just think of the position on the block as someone's name, you'll remember it. Yeah. I'll have to put it into a melody. 3 strokes from the left, 2 from the right. I don't remember names, but faces always burned in my brain. Yeah. Sure, Misfire. Everything about them except their name. But you don't get any credit for that, you know. You can't... anyone can say, oh yeah, I remember everything about you. It doesn't work. Nothing matters after you forget their name. Constantly, nothing matters. Oh, I know. You are freelancing for Dave. You're a Mokarankan employee. We expect you to see... I don't freelance at Mokarankan anymore. I'm working there full time. I'm also working semi full time. When I have I get projects from Asuka Sensei, and when I have a project, it's 2 full-time jobs. But I don't always get them. It depends on projects he's given. And then I'm also trying to do some of my own work set up for my future, in case anything goes awry and I'm out of a job at any point. I want to be able to be set up on my own and quickly set up my own shop or something like that. If I like to have options in the future, and so I'm preparing some of my own work. Also, if you publish and design your prints yourself, the overheads are a lot, but the return is much, much bigger than you get as a simple craftsperson. So there's risk, but there's also potential high rewards. And I like to have options. We're coming to the end here now. Ooh, my iPad is burning up. My cameras are all roasting. Switch back here. I don't think I've shown you the setup. This, if I move to the side, this plant here was growing to the ceiling, so I had to cut it in half and plant both of them in the bottom there. I like plants. Like I said, I studied biology in university. Nice veg, yeah. Right here where we've got the... Don't worry, it's a very bad print of the Great Wave. It's not a nice copy at all. Right where that frame is, I'm planning to get a sign writer. There's a guy called The Letter Boy who lives in Tokyo. He has a sign writing workshop, and he also does lots of work all over Tokyo. I met him recently. And I've got a frame set aside, and he's going to do some glass sign writing for me. It's a little bit expensive now, so I'll probably wait until paycheck comes in. But that spot there is going to be filled with... Ginko Hanga Kobo, whatever. My new logo and some nice font. I don't know which font we're going to use. I've got a few, but I might just ask him to be given creative freedom to do anything he likes. So that'll be the display there. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, we can drag it on. It's been an hour and a half, but what have we got? We're nearly there. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for showing up. I guess we had a few followers today, a lot more than the last couple. So I really appreciate everyone showing up. I've had a lot of fun, and the next stream will be on Tuesday. I'm sure that most of you here won't be awake at that time, but if you are, drop by again. If not, I will see you next week, same time, same place. What will I be doing? I might still be carving the next print. I'll definitely be doing color blocks. I guess I'll probably have finished the key block by then. It usually takes about 3 days to do the key block, but since we have Golden Week, maybe I'll still be carving the next Adolescento print. But for sure, color blocks on that. So stay tuned for that. If you want a sneak peek at the new design, that'll be there. Thank you so much. And we are out. Raiding? Should I raid? Let's do a raid. Help me. I don't know what I'm doing. How do we raid? Does anyone have any raid suggestions? Chicken Meister, if you're still there, I would love your help. Raid. Let's see some... I know this guy. We're going to send a raid over to Jay Rensler, who is another printmaker. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Chicken Meister. We're on it. He just started. What fantastic timing. That might work out really nicely every time. Yeah, we're going to send over a raid over to him. Thank you, everyone, so much. Please come back next time. I've had so much fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you'll get sneak peeks at upcoming Mokohankan projects at this time every week. Whoop, whoop. Peace out. Thank you so much. Let's send that raid. 3, 2, 1. Peace.